You've probably heard of the Big Bang, the idea that our universe started about 13.8 billion years ago from a hot, dense, tiny point and then expanded. And maybe you've also heard about cosmic inflation, that super-fast ballooning of space that happened in the tiniest fraction of a second right after the Big Bang. But here's a twist. What if the universe didn't start hot? What if it actually started frozen? That's the bold idea behind the Big Defreeze theory proposed by Mohammad Hasan Algarhy. And no, it doesn't throw away the Big Bang or inflation. Instead, it's like adding the missing prologue chapter to the story we already know. Instead of a fireball at the start, imagine the universe as a single, super-cold quantum wave, like a cosmic Bose-Einstein condensate. Think of it as all the particles in the universe being frozen into one single collective identity wave called the identity stem wave of the universe. This is a perfectly ordered state, still quiet near absolute zero. Imagine watching a movie that begins with a massive explosion, everything flying apart in fire and light. That's how most of us think of the Big Bang. But what if I told you the movie had a secret opening scene that almost everyone missed? A scene not of fire, but of silence. Not of heat, but of absolute cold. This is the story of the Big Defreeze, a new idea that doesn't cancel the Big Bang or inflation, but instead tells us what happened just before. So what happened? The Big Defreeze says that inside this frozen quantum wave, tiny fluctuations began. One of these, linked to helium's unique behavior, caused the whole crystal-like structure to break its symmetry. That break was the spark that unleashed the energy of the Big Bang. So the universe went from frozen order to fiery chaos, and then inflation took over, stretching everything at super speed. Picture the universe as a gigantic orchestra, but before the music starts, all the instruments are silent. No sound, no motion, just perfect order. In the Big Defreeze view, the early universe wasn't hot and chaotic, it was frozen still, at temperatures near absolute zero. Everything, every particle, every bit of matter was merged into one giant quantum wave. Think of it like a cosmic ice crystal or a Bose-Einstein condensate, where all particles move in perfect harmony, behaving as one. This state is called the identity stem wave of the universe, a kind of master wave, the DNA of reality. Why this fits with the Big Bang and inflation? Here's the key point. The Big Defreeze doesn't replace the Big Bang. It explains what came just before. It doesn't deny inflation. It actually gives a reason for why inflation could even happen in the first place. And it helps explain some of the mysterious patterns we see in the cosmic microwave background, CMB, like why its fluctuations look like they came from a perfectly coherent laser beam source. In fact, the theory predicts that the identity wave of iron acted like a cosmic laser, seeding those precise scale-invariant ripples we still see today. Silence never lasts forever. Even in this frozen stillness, tiny ripples began. One special ripple, linked to helium, was different. Like the one violin in an orchestra that plays the first note, this wave broke the perfect harmony, and that break unleashed energy. The frozen universe suddenly defroze, heated up, and boom! That's the Big Bang we know. So in this story, the Big Bang wasn't the first page, it was the dramatic explosion that followed the defreezing of the universe. Now you might ask, but what about inflation, that wild ballooning of the universe in its first split second? The Big Defreeze doesn't deny it. In fact, it sets the stage for it. Think of inflation like a balloon blowing up super fast. But before you can blow up a balloon, you need the balloon itself. The frozen identity wave was the balloon, the helium ripple was the spark, the Big Bang was the air rushing in, and inflation was the balloon expanding at lightning speed. So the Big Defreeze doesn't fight the Big Bang or inflation, it gives them their starting point. Let's bring in a cosmic detective clue. The cosmic microwave background, CMB, the afterglow of the Big Bang. When scientists look closely, they see the CMB has patterns, tiny ripples in temperature that are so smooth and consistent, it's as if they were created by a giant cosmic laser. The Big Defreeze offers an explanation. The identity wave of iron acted like that cosmic laser, creating those precise, scale-invariant ripples that inflation later stretched across the universe. If this idea is right then, the universe didn't begin in fire, it began in silence and order. The end of the universe, whether freeze, rip, or crunch, might lead back into another big defreeze, suggesting a cosmic cycle. And we might even test parts of this in laboratories by creating BECs of different elements and watching how their identity waves behave. So next time you hear about the Big Bang, remember, it might not have been the beginning, but just the explosion after a big defreeze. In a way, it's like discovering that the movie of our universe had a hidden opening scene, and we're just now starting to uncover it.